What's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about why I think that the YOLO Live might be the best streaming gear for beginners. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me for this video. If you're new here, my channel is about filmmaking, tips, and just tech in general. So today I wanted to talk about why I think the YOLO Live might be a good buy, a good system for those just starting out in event streaming. I'm starting out myself. So just to give you a little backstory, a little history, I bought the SlingStudio, and it's not a bad system. It's a great system probably for most people. But for what I wanted to do, I didn't want to spend so much money getting invested in their system. With their system, you need to buy their hub and some of their cam links that you connect to the various cameras that you want to use. You also need a laptop or an iPad or something like that. And from what I understand, an iPad works better. So when you add that all up, it gets kind of pricey. And on top of that, because of the health situation that we have going on, the worldwide health situation we have going on, it gets kind of tough to find all the pieces that you need. So that's really my main reason for kind of shopping around, trying to figure out what might work best for me. So what I did is I picked up the YOLO Live, and I'll show you the YOLO Live, the YoloBox Live. This is it here. And it's an all-in-one system that allows you to not only just record your live stream locally onto the device, but it also has the benefit of being able to broadcast not only wirelessly, not only with Ethernet like a lot of systems, but also via cell. So if you happen to be in an area where there's no signal, there's no wireless signal, there's no Ethernet, you can use the cell signal. So that's one of the reasons I think this system might work for a lot of people. So what I want to do today is get everything set up and take a look at how it all works and let you guys know what I think. For me, I went, as far as transmitter and receivers, I went with the Holyland Mars 300. So I have a couple of these that I'm going to hook to my cameras. And then also, again, with the YOLO Live, we're going to see how all this works. So let me get this unboxed and show you guys what it looks like. And after that, we'll get things set up and working and see what happens. First up, we have the YOLO Live. Here's the box that it comes in. Let's get it quickly unboxed. It's kind of tight packaging here, but you can see it's pretty simple. Inside you have this touchscreen display. Okay. All right, so here's the display. On the back here or on the side, or however you want to look at it, you have multiple HDMI ports. This is why I was really interested in this product. There's HDMI here, 1 and 2, and pull that closer so you guys can see. And then you also have a USB in for video. So if you have two devices that take HDMI and one that works via USB, you have three video sources to input. HDMI out, you got your Ethernet, you have your audio in, so that you can have a dedicated audio source. And then there's USB Type-C for charging and powering the device. The device itself has a battery inside, but I think you can also plug in an external battery to keep it going if that's what you need to do. On the side here, it looks like you have, I'm not sure if those are speakers. We'll check it, take a look. And then on the top here, you have a spot for your SD card where you can record video locally, record the live stream locally if you need to deliver that to your client or have it for your own use. Of course, the power button, I'll go ahead and hit that now. So a SIM card so that you can, like I said before, connect the cell signal instead of just depending on the wireless and Ethernet signals if you happen to be in a place that doesn't have internet. Then you also have your audio out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is before I set this up, I'll let you guys take a look at the Holyland 300, the Holyland Mars 300, and show you what I plan to do with that. And then we'll get this set up and configured and see how it works. Real quick, also in the box, should have shown you guys this before. Looks like a SIM card removal tool. Most people have about 100 of these by now. I'll probably leave that in here somewhere. I don't know, we'll set it aside. And then of course your instructions. I'll try to read those this time because usually I don't read the instructions, but since I don't absolutely know what I'm doing here, I'm definitely gonna at least browse the instructions. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube video. You know how it is. You get this foam here, pull that aside. Inside you have regular USB, your standard USB power bricks, USB-C, like I said before, so that you can charge the unit. And then you have a cold shoe mount with a 1/4 20. If you're into photography or in video, you probably have a bunch of these. This one seems pretty decent. I know some can be super cheap, but this one's solid. Nothing special about it. But that way you can mount. I guess I didn't show you. There's a 1/4 20 thread on the bottom of the YoloBox, so you can mount this on top of your camera. But also, if you look at the bottom of this here, you can see that there's a 1/4 20 mount also, so you can put it on a light stand or something like that. And that's probably how I would end up doing it. Actually, I would probably put it on one of these little mini tripods. I'm just a big fan of all these little mini tripods, and I would probably connect it up something like that there. Don't need to do it right this second, but well, we almost got it. So that's probably how I'll end up using it, something like that. Just depends on where I'm going to be at and the situation. So anyway, we'll set that aside there. Also inside you have an HDMI cable. Actually looks like you get two, which is awesome. And then you get one of these carrying bags. A lot of our devices come with these velvet like bags. I'm not sure why that's so popular. I don't usually use them. They just don't seem practical to me. Maybe I'll put, like, I don't know, a bag of screws or something like that, screws in there and toss them aside. I just don't end up using them. They're kind of a pain for me. But so anyway, that's it with the YoloBox. That's all that comes in the box. And let's take a look at the Holyland. All right, so here's the Holyland Mars 300 Pro. For those of you who don't know, you don't have to use something like this with your streaming setup. I'm opting to use something like this because I want an entirely wireless setup. You could absolutely run HDMI cables from your camera to the YoloBox or whatever system you might be interested in using, but I want a completely wireless setup because wireless, don't like wires. So I'm opting for something like this to try to alleviate having to deal with wires. So anyway, here's the Holyland Mars 300 Pro standard. They have a couple versions, but again with these tight boxes. But one thing I like about this is it has the wires. I'm sorry, the antennas for the Holyland are internal. One of their other versions has a external antenna. Let me show you real quick. So here you have your receiver and transmitter, and with the receiver, they both take the Sony MPF batteries, which is great because those batteries tend to be cheap. You can find them anywhere. On the side here, you have your HDMI out, so two outputs there. USB-C for power. So again, you can use the Sony MPF batteries, but also if you have a USB-C source or a power source, you can use that to power the device. Also, here is the transmitter on-off button. I guess I gotta get closer for you guys there. On-off button. This here allows you to change the channel that you're on. HDMI in and the HDMI loop out. So let me grab a battery and show you guys what these look like. All right, so here's what it looks like once you get the batteries connected. I had to find a couple of MPF batteries. This one's bigger. You can use either size, it doesn't matter. Right now you can see they're both set to channel 8. You can set them however you want. Hook up the transmitter to your camera, take it from your camera to the HDMI in, and then here's your receiver. And these are what I plan on connecting to the YoloBox. Once I get everything set up, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But again, with the unboxing, quick unboxing. I know I'm all over the place, guys, but looking at the transmitter and the receiver, they each have 1/4-20 mounts at the bottom, so you can put them on a light stand or whatever type tripod or stand that you want to use. And I'll have to figure out exactly how I'm going to mount these. Also in the box, USB-C cable. I'm glad everything is USB-C now, because it's just nice being able to grab a cable from anywhere and use it with your devices. Back before when we were using micro USB and mini USB, and it was kind of a pain, but I'm glad that we have that. There's also a 1/4-20 mount that will screw into the back or top, depending on how you look at it, of the transmitter and receiver. So if you wanted to, you could mount it vertically or horizontally, depending on what works best for your situation. Also, cold shoe adapter. So if you wanted, you could mount it on top of your camera like that there. What I plan to do now is get everything set up, get everything configured, and play around with it, and come back and show you guys what I figured out with this system. So be back in a second. Okay, on to the YOLO Live setup. I've already set mine up, so what I think I'll do is I'll go ahead and reset this and show you guys from the beginning how quick and easy it is to set up. It really took me about 10 minutes to get everything set up, so I'll show you the steps right now. Go here and do a factory reset. So you get a quick little boot screen. It takes a little bit longer than I'd like for it to start up, but that's okay. It seems like it's running on Android. I'm not sure what version behind the scenes, but it seems to be based on one of the Android OS. So you get your typical of any setup in any tablet or phone. You select your language. For me, it's English. Onto your time zone, and hop down here to New York, because I'm on the East Coast. And then it will ask you to log in with your email address. So let me do that right quick. Enter your email address. Of course, it wants your password. And basically, you're creating an account or logging into the account that you've already created with YOLO. Once you get logged in, then you will need to add your streaming accounts. For example, let me go back here. You go to accounts. Actually, mine's still added here, which is kind of weird. I expected all this to be empty, but what you would do is you would click on Facebook and add your Facebook login information, YouTube, add your YouTube login information, and so on. Looks like Twitter is not quite an option yet, and I don't have a Twitch account, so I haven't logged into Twitch, but you could also log into Twitch and use that. So to create a live stream, you go ahead and hit the plus sign, you name the live stream title, and I'm just going to name it test real quick. Click done, and you can give a description. I'm not going to do that now. Looks like you can schedule for when you want the live stream to start, but I'll go ahead and click create now. And you can see it's sort of a project file. It's sort of a project that's set up here. I have the test. I guess I can create multiple live streams to use at a later time, but I'll go ahead and click on the test one. And at this point, the cameras would come up and you can choose which accounts you would like to stream to, whether it's your YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, custom RTMP. Let me go ahead and get the camera set up and show you guys what this looks like. All right, so let me show you guys what I got going on here. Let's start with this camera here. This is the A7S3, and you can see here I have the transmitter and a battery pack hooked up, an MPF battery, and with the HDMI coming from the camera to the transmitter, and will transmit out to the receiver. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's a little bit dark in here. There's also another output. If I had more HDMI cables, I could connect the transmitter also to my Ninja 5, depending on how you want to say it, field monitor and recorder. So you can also have video displayed here while you transmit from the camera to the receiver. The other camera I'm going to be using is the A6400, and it's got pretty much the same setup. HDMI coming from the camera to the transmitter, and from the transmitter over to the receiver. Same setup. If I had another, I realized I need more HDMI cables. Move this sucker a little bit so you guys can see, turn it. You can see in here, showed you guys before. You can see right in there, there's a second HDMI out that I could run from the transmitter to this field monitor here. This is a Field World, forget the model number, but another field monitor. So I think it'll be helpful to, you know, especially if you have a crew helping you, a couple guys helping you, a couple people helping you, you know, to be able to monitor video while it's being live streamed. So that's the setup here for the A6400, and my third camera, I'm sorry, that's the A7. This is the A7 III, and here's the 6400. I'm trying to shoot this on my cell phone since I've run out of cameras to use for this setup, so my bad. A7 III, 6400. So again, same setup, HDMI out, HDMI from the camera to the transmitter, and being transmitted to the receiver. Again, I need more HDMI cables. So I'm using every one I have. I'm using 3 cables here and also 3 cables on the transmitters. You see here, I have 3 HDMI from the receivers to the YoloBox. So 6 HDMI cables right now. I need another 3, and I'd like to get some shorter ones because this is kind of a mess. It's not quite the setup I wanted to run with, you know, as far as it being neat and orderly. So I still have to figure that out. But let me go ahead and set these cameras up and turn them on and let you guys see what it all looks like. So this is my work area. It's kind of messy, but kind of how it is when you're working solo, trying to keep everything organized. So yeah, let's move on to the next part, get this set up. Okay, so now I have all 3 cameras hooked up, and as you can see, we have the test stream or project, however you want to call it, already set up from before. So if I click on that now, you should be able to see all 3 cameras, camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3. And just a note, if you see here, I have HDMI 1. That's the one that's active. It should be camera, this one right here, which is the A7S3. And I do have a picture profile on there that makes the video a little flat, but that's okay. This is just for our testing purposes. And you should be able to just tap to switch to camera 2, which is the A7 III off to my right here. And if you look over here, the last camera, A6400, it's connected via USB. That's a pretty cool feature. I'm gonna raise the phone here up over the top to show you guys again. So I have the HDMI coming from this receiver into HDMI 1, then the second receiver here, and the HDMI 2, and the last receiver I actually have plugged in via USB. So I have a HDMI cable, a HDMI capture card. It's just a cheap one that you can find on Amazon, about 25 bucks, and converts it to USB. And then I have this USB adapter cable plugged into the USB port. So this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted 3 sources of video, all wireless, without having to do anything too complicated. I tried to plug this HDMI video capture card directly into the USB port, but it's a little wide when laying out next to the other connectors. So I use this. This is basically an extender cable. Also, just for fun, I have a Rode Wireless Go plugged in to the audio in, because I wanted to kind of do a quick test stream. I haven't done that yet, and I didn't want the video to sound too terrible, so I'm wearing Rode Wireless Go transmitter, and so hopefully the audio is not too bad if I do a test stream. So that's basically the quick and easy of it. Like it's really simple. I like how responsive everything is. If you're familiar with using a smartphone, which most of us are, or a tablet or something like that, then you can use this with no problem. The other thing you can do is you can record directly to an SD card. You can load files from an SD card. So if you have pre-made video that you wanted to queue up for whatever reason, maybe it's an intro or an outro or something like that, that you can queue that up as another source. You click here to add video source, you can see SD card as an option. So that's, I always thought that was awesome. Picture-in-picture video options. Not an expert yet. Like I said, I think this is the best solution for beginners. And right now, with the SlingStudio being so hard to come by as far as all the parts, I think this might be the best option, and until you can get yourself a SlingStudio. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and try to go live on YouTube, see what happens. Let's do it unlisted. That's awesome. We'll do it unlisted. I'll put the link below so you guys can check it out if you're curious about it. I'm holding my cell phone here for get done. So it looks like it says user is not enabled for live streaming. I'm not sure if that's something I need to set up with my YouTube account, something I need to apply for or just activate, especially since I haven't done this before. So I'll go ahead and turn that off now so that we're not attempting a live stream. But I think this might be the quick and easy setup that I've been looking for. Hopefully it's helpful for you guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. That's all I have for this video. Just to recap and re-summarize, the reason I think it's the best deal, it's a great deal for people just starting out with streaming. It seems like a very easy, quick to set up, a nice all-in-one system that's very flexible. It allows you to record the live stream locally. It allows you to connect via wireless, Ethernet, and cell signal. I like how it's a touch screen. It has multiple capabilities, including picture-in-picture. It also allows you to load up pre-recorded video from an SD card, so you can live stream that. You know, it could be your intro, it could be your outro, it could be some sort of advertisement, depending, you know, what your needs are and what you have in mind. You also have the lower third options. It has a scoreboard option. There's a lot of features packed into one nice small touchscreen body. It charges via USB-C. To me, from what I can see, it's a great solution for what I need. I'll make a follow-up video later on once I have a chance to dig into all the features and get more acclimated to the system. Like I said, I think it's going to work well for me. These are just my opinions, so nothing against SlingStudio. I know I expect that people are going to come in and drop comments in the comment section about how SlingStudio is better. It may be, but for what I need, I think this is going to work well. That's it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, give me a like, drop some questions in the comment section, and I will see you next time. Peace.